Hey everyone, Brian from ActiveMelody.com, and what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you how to play two different versions of a blues rhythm. It's a very common scenario that you'll run into if you're in a jam session, or even if you're just playing with another musician. A lot of times you'll play a 12-bar blues and it'll be your turn to play rhythm. And so anyway, I got an email from someone saying, hey, you know, I know how to play a lot of lead stuff, but I'm not really sure what to do when it comes to playing rhythm. And I looked through all of my lessons that I put up on the site and I realized I haven't really done just a very basic 12-bar blues rhythm. Now I wanted to throw in a few extra licks to make it a little more interesting, but basically that's what we're going to learn in this. I'm going to give you two different variations of it. Now I'm going to play through it without the jam track right now, just so you can hear what we're going to learn. But if you'd like to download the jam track, you can get it for free, and you can get the tablature for free, and you can get the on-screen tab viewer. So all of the lesson materials for this is 100% free. I just wanted to make that available to everyone, just because I think it's a void that's sort of out there. There's not a lot of sort of basic, 12-bar blues stuff. All right, so let me play through what we're going to learn. I'll play through the first version, then we'll do the second, and then we'll get into the lesson material. So here's the first one. Pretty basic. To some of you that might be elementary, but to a lot of you that can change your world if you just learn how to play that rhythm. So that's the first one we're going to learn. Let me just real quickly, I'll go through the second version. Now this will make a lot more sense if you hear it with the jam track, but anyway, here it is on its own. Now, what's nice about these two are that you can mix and match parts of it. So if you like you can take that and combine it with what you learned in the first part. But this just gives you some different variables to work with so that you can kind of spice up your rhythm playing. So let's go ahead and start the video, and we'll start start the lesson, I should say. The video has started. And we'll break that down, and then we'll take it from there. Alright, so this is in the key of E, and it's just 12-bar blues. It's a 1-4-5 chord progressions. The first chord's the one chord's at E, there's an A chord, there's a B chord, and then back to the E. Okay, and so the way that I'm doing this, and this is a common scenario, you'll hear this kind of blues played like this. There's a little bit of a shuffle to it, so it's not 1 and 2 and, it's not like this. It's played like this. Kind of thing you can bob your head to. Now what I'm doing is I've got my pointer finger here on the 2nd fret, 5th string, and I'm playing strings 6 and 5. Just those two strings. Those are the bottom strings out of the E chord. Just those two. It's called a power chord. And I'm using this part of my palm back here to kind of rest on the strings to mute it a little bit. It's called palm muting, and that gives you a little bit of a chunky sound. And I use my pinky, some of you may want to use your ring finger, to come back up here to the 4th fret, 5th string, and you're just alternating. You're rocking back and forth like this. So you have 1, 2, 1, 2. And that's how you're playing the E part. Okay? Now, now that you've got that, watch this. Isn't that nice? It's like a little bit of a lead thrown in there just to sort of mix it up. But all I'm doing is I'm going, after I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I take my ring finger and come to the 2nd fret, 6th string, and I slide up to the 4th fret, and then I go to the fifth string on the second fret. There's the fourth fret on the fifth string, and then that last note, which is an E note, an octave higher, is on the second fret, fourth string. And you can see what I've made there. It's a little box. Now that box is important because if you're playing rhythm, or lead for that matter, you can play any of these notes. And if you're playing the key of E, you have that little box to play with, and you're in the major scale, or the major pentatonic scale, when you're in that little box. And so if you're ever wanting to throw in a little lead lick, you have that space to play with. So that's where this lick comes from. Now you may want to, at this point, you may just want to practice doing that over and over again. This would be where you'd want to get out the jam track. Now here's another thing. Once I get to this note, that E, I quickly come back down to play the open sixth string, or the lower E. Hear it? And then we're back to the shuffle. Now the second, okay, so that's the first time through. The second time through I went. Is that cool? That's kind of a, gosh, it's been used a million times. And what I'm doing there is I'm playing an A chord, and I'm using my middle finger to bar that, and you'll see why I'm using my middle finger instead of this one. So what I'm playing is strings 4, 3, and 2 out of that A chord. And then watch this. And then I just build the E chord. Just the top, really, those two strings. It's the string 2 and 3. That's what I'm doing. And I'm hammering onto the first fret, third string. Playing those two notes. And that's what I'm doing. And it gives it a real bluesy feel when you do that. So let's back up. So we have now after I do that, you got to keep your timing going. So, and this is why that jam track's important. So you can come right back down. This time you've got your pinky or your ring finger on the 4th fret, 5th string into that position. So, all right. And then I played the little lead part again, which we've already learned. Now watch this. This is a little walk up to the A. Now that may be something some of you know, but some of you may have never thought about transitioning to the A, just like the way a bass player would do. And that's kind of what you're doing. So you're going back to this E power chord, and then you're going to play an F sharp power chord. And so that's your pointer finger on the 2nd fret, 6th string. Your pinky, or your ring finger, is on the 4th fret, 5th string. Now we're going to play a G power chord. So we're just taking that same shape, sliding it up one more to a G sharp. So we have. Now another way I've seen people do this is to play the full bar chord. You know, if you wanted to really get fancy, but that's all I did. Now we're into the A position. And what I do, instead of playing the A up here, which I could do, you could just keep going. I came and played it here. It's the same notes, but you're playing them in a different position. So now I'm playing the open 5th string, which is an A, and I'm fretting the 2nd fret, 4th string. And now I'm going to do just like I did on the E chord, but I'm going to use my pinky or ring finger here on the 4th fret, this time on the 4th string. And then watch this. And I slid it up that time. That's a little different. So we went to the 4th fret up to the 5th fret. Now I did that same little bluesy thing like we did there, but now I'm doing it up here. And the reason that it works, or it's really played the same way. Remember I showed you to use your ring finger, or well, up here I use my middle finger, I guess. Up here I use my ring finger to play the 7th fret and play strings 4, 3, and 2. And now we're going to bar the first 3 strings on the 5th fret. We're only going to play strings 2 and 3. And then we're going to hammer onto the 6th fret 3rd string with our middle finger. It's the same thing that you're doing down here, if you think about it. Look at how that plays around the E chord. Well, think about the A chord. If you were to make an A bar chord, it'd be here. So hopefully you can see how that little lick plays off the chord, and that's a key to playing any lead, is just knowing what the chord shape is and how you can play notes that are in that chord. Okay, so back to that, and now we're gonna play that little lead part again to get us back to the E. And there's the little bluesy thing. Now we go to the B. And for that, it's our pointer finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret. Our ring finger is on the 4th fret, 5th string, or 4th fret, 4th string. And that's a power chord. It's a B power chord. And then you used your pinky to come up here to the 6th fret on the 4th string. And that's the Chuck Berry. You see Chuck Berry do that. If you ever watch any videos of him doing Johnny Be Good or any of that, that's the shape that he uses. So we're going to play that. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take our ring finger and come to the 4th fret 5th string, and we're going to slide up like that. We're going to slide from the 4th fret to the 6th fret on the 5th string. Then I'm going to bar, and if you look at what I'm doing, I'm making that B chord. When we made the B chord, remember our pinky was here. Now I've just replaced it with this finger, and I've hammered on up to this position, which is the 6th fret 4th string. And I'm playing those 2 strings, strings 4 and 3. And that's a powerful little lick that you can use anytime you're playing a chord, no matter what chord. So if you're playing G, or well, anything. Let's say we're playing an E chord up here. It just gives you another variation of something you can do. So now we're back to the A, and then we're back to the E, using that leg. And then the turnaround chord is the B7th, the B7th. And I'll assume you know how to make a B7th. And all I did once I made the B7th was went. And there's a million things I could have done there. But I just wanted to keep it very basic with chords. And then it repeats at that point. So that's all of the first variation. Let me go ahead and play through it one more time. And then you can always look at the or at the on-screen tab viewer if you want to view this as well. So here we go.